Welcome to Let's Talk. Where ordinary people are doing extraordinary things. We are live and interactive. With education. Spoken word. Dating, love, and relationships. Culture. Spirituality. Community. Sports. And politics. Let's talk. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Hey, good evening, Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, as well as our other streaming channels. And tonight, as usual, Tuesday night, and the Poetry Corner, and we're on Season 3, Episode 5. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. We got a packed house tonight, and we got more guests to come. I guess it's that Black cinema and Black love. That's the theme for our poets on the last Poetry Corner of Black History Month. And next month is Women's Month, so we might do something special for our beautiful women all through the month. That'll be up to King Atterberry if he decides. So without further ado, we're going to start with our first poet of the night.
All right. So this is a little fresh, so be nice. For the longest, we have been setting the stage on fire. The stars shining so bright and shooting like bullets in the sky got them saying, ceasefire, ceasefire. We have been doing it big for so long, from singers to actors, producers, directors, comedians, always coming on strong. Take a trip back in time. There are so many stops along the way. See some of the top acts in stormy weather that will take your breath away. Or ease on down the road, skipping and stepping to the jazzy beat. Check out the whiz. I promise you'll be tapping your feet. The talent goes on, and I don't see it coming to an end. There are so many names to be called, I wouldn't know where to begin. Where would I start with such great flicks? Dolomite, Shaft, and maybe that Foxy chick. Ozzy, Ruby D, Denzel, Angela, Spike, Eddie and Jamie, to name a few. Viola, Chadwick, Samuel L. Jackson, Morgan Freeman, Octavia Spencer too. Many in the past and more to come. All trailblazers dancing to the beat of their own drum. And if I did not pay tribute to this Black queen, I would be amiss. Because the first Oscar went to her for Gone with the Wind, Hattie McDaniel, my Sigma Gamma Rho sis. That's it.
Okay now. Okay now.
All right now.
Okay, Cole.
Good evening, everybody. Tonight's subject matter. Okay, well, when we talk about Black love and cinema, you know, I'm so old that I go back to Chicken George and Kizzy. You know what I'm saying? Like the original roots. You know what I'm saying? I know that y'all too young to know about that. But this brother, Chicken George, found his way back to the plantation after he had won his freedom for fighting chickens. He laid down with his wife, and the master told him, look, if you are here in the morning time, you a slave again. And he was willing to do it because he missed his wife. But she told him, look, I don't want to lay down with no slave. So you're going to have to run. You know, this is my first, you know, I'm a child watching this and being in love with that. So that's my little contribution to that. Actually, I do have a piece called Cinema. So I'm going to get right into that. Cinema. Sweetly I envision you in sweeping thoughts so tenderly, and of this I bind together a secret cinema of your face, of your hair, of your smile. But fleeting moments of black and white flicker and fade away as I sit alone. Yes, in my mind, I share no audience, but when the curtain falls, you are gone. Thank you.
Yes, sir, Brian.
I love that, Brian.
Yes, sir, Brian.
Right, brother?
Yeah.
Poet right there.
All right. So y'all know what I'm gonna do. I love Black everything, but Black movies in particular are my favorite thing. And whenever I go on one of my streaming networks like Hulu or Netflix, the first thing I look for are the Black titles. And I think that that's important, that we see ourselves on screen. So this is my tribute to Black cinema. I'm gonna title it On the Big Screen. I was like Brian said previously, a little bitty thing. First time I saw people who looked like me on the big screen. And they weren't just doing something crazy like robbing a bank or, I don't know, being a slave. They were actually doing things that I would like to do myself. Like, I remember the first movie that I saw where I saw Black love being depicted. Diana Ross was playing opposite Billy D. Williams. I remember when I saw Lady Sings the Blues for the first time, I didn't quite understand the backstory. But as I grow older and watch things over repeatedly, I can see what an impact those two had on Blacks in Hollywood and the movies that we see. They had to set a bar and a standard to how we should see ourselves on screen. It's one of those amazing things. They were dressed to the nines. Her hair was always properly coiffed. I'll be honest with you. Billy D. Williams' hair was looking pretty slick too. He was walking around like a boss. I mean, I could see him being that cat. And he wasn't just the dude from the Coke 45 commercials that I would later see him come to regret. But what I was trying to emphasize, and I still am, when I began this piece, was how beautiful it was to see Black men and women loving each other the way that they're supposed to on a big screen. I think the next couple of movies that I saw afterwards weren't quite as fantastic for me, but as I got older and was seeking love in my own life, I would have other examples. I remember the first one that I enjoyed, and it was Love Jones. And all I could think was, I need a Darius. I need a man that's going to be that funk in my right thigh. I don't know what it even meant at the time when I heard it, but I just knew I needed that. I couldn't figure out why. Later on, I saw another couple who were up and rising stars in Hollywood, and they had brown skin. They were two hoopers. One was a woman and the other was a man. They were showing how their strengths and the checks and balances between both of them being an athlete and a student and the love that they had between them. My favorite line from that movie was, "I'll play you for your heart." That was the start for me to try to find as many movies as possible where Black love was being depicted positively. I'm Gina Storm. Thank you for indulging me in peace.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
All right, Gina.
Okay, Gina.
Yeah. Play you for your heart.
Double or nothing.
Oh boy. All right. Coming up as a youth, I was very disappointed in the Black existence, the way it was portrayed on TV. I guess I couldn't be satisfied because even when the Huxtables did it, I still had a little bit of apprehension. I just got tired of seeing black people, in just bad situations, and it's just accepted to be that's the way it is, and that's the way it should be. This piece right here. There's a there's a pervasive problem of biased violence in our theaters. I think not only black people, but all people have an aversion against real heart searching in the urban cinemas. Now, I'm not saying two people in love has been all bad since Romeo and Juliet, but the topic has been definitely been beat to death. The story about how he never left, or how the man goes away in death, or she gave everything, including herself. Just two folks against all the odds. I want to see the love of peoples. The love people have when they live everyday lives, and they look to be neighbors with no hierarchy, no class distinction, or wealth inequality. Listen close, people. I propose a movie of epic beauty, of where all men are brothers and all women are our sisters, and we treat them accordingly. A place where all the children are our children, and every adult is a trustworthy shepherd. A movie of how meaningless is money, and being penniless is a figment, and not based on pigment. If it ever gets the green light, this is the movie that will not cost any money.
Yes, sir. Just
Absolutely.
Jay.
Well
Yes.
said.
Talk
Okay, Jay.
about it, bro. Talk about it,
Jay in
bro.
the building.
Awesome.
Hello, everybody.
Hey,
Welcome
Joyce.
How you
back.
doing? Welcome
Thank
back.
you.
Nice.
Thank you. Okay, I'm a little up to speed. Internet was down. Okay, so the movie that I'm going to choose to relate to tonight is Queen and Slim. I think it's a movie about, like, opposites attracting, but the scene where they were dancing, and it seems like without words, they just kind of knew each other from a different place. So that's what kind of inspired this piece. It's your music that moves me. It's the overture that plays the curvature in your Cupid's bow, and the symphony in every soliloquy that you speak to me. Feed me, charge me with your magic, spit bars from here to Mars. You give me a courtside view of the stars. Touch it softly, lay your stylus gently upon my record, electric and violent. I hear your silence, entice me. It be your music that sets my song free. See, that's it. It's your music that I'm longing to get caught in. I want to play in your whiskers like Santana tickles a Gibson. I want to straddle your Stradivarius. Savant, master the V in my virtuoso. God body MC, color me lyrically Picasso. Blow on it, tickle my backbone like Coltrane on the saxophone. Use your fingers, play with it how you want. Thelonious Monk, round my corners round midnight. I want to glide on your rhythm like Genuine's pony ride. Blossom in the back of my throat like cherry wine and good ganja smoke. I'm your one woman mosh pit, poised for your next hit. It's your music that I'm addicted to, and I can't get enough of it. That's that piece.
Yes.
Yes,
There you
Jay.
go. Return
Go
with a
girl.
bang. All right.
Wow.
That was dope. Word up.
The movie that I'm gonna do is actually Love Jones, because that movie is the reason why I'm a published author today. That is by far my favorite movie ever.
Wow.
So this piece is called That Love Jones Vibe. There is this passion that burns, and between us we can feel the heat as our bodies yearn. Tossing and turning in your bed and me on the couch, just trying to be friends, but our bodies are justifying a means to an end. Just in that moment, you put a pillow between your legs, thinking he's going to have to beg. But I got a blues for Nina. And this music play, and I palm the mic, I'm trying to show you how you have my words captivated and mesmerized. Me trying to gather my thoughts and freestyle to your heartbeat has me mystified. Darius said, God is a woman. If you ever kissed a woman, you know that a woman have a certain power, a certain sexual thing that renders men totally incapable of functioning. Make me crippled as I put my lips upon yours. Allow my inability to function in your power. Make me yours. Use your goddess energy to enslave me into your sexual fantasies. Make me crave you after I've tasted your lips with your beautiful abilities. An ability to make me speechless. Because the joy you bring has me relentless. Who am I? Well, they call me brother to the night. And right now, I'm the blues in your left thigh, trying to become the funk in your right. Is that all right? I mean, I'm just demonstrating the transference of power, the kind that looms and tower over the energy we both feel. And as we both will bow and kneel to this essence of a Love Jones sensation that will bloom with love's manifestation, and we will make love sounds with heavy breathing, body sweating in the passion of our loves. That's poetry reading, telling each other how much we want it, how much we need it. And this right here, let me tell you something. This right here, right now, in this very moment, is all that matters to me. I love you. And that's urgent like a motherfucker. Because I got more than just poetic words. I've got the poetic actions for those words to come to life while you say, I am a bright beam of light. I am remembering love. And I'll be forever in love with you every day. And that's that piece.
All right, drop that mic. Drop that mic.
Thank you.
Hi. Good evening.
Peace.
So I was so excited about this topic. I feel like I've been in love since you announced it on Thursday. I think one of the things that I really appreciate about Black cinema, but more so about Black love in cinema, is that when you look at the history of Black Americans in history in cinema, we've had quite a journey. First, we had to be humanized. And then we had to be able to tell our stories, and now we're telling our stories about love. So I think that that's an amazing journey. And so my first piece is about that. Black love on screen. It was always love at first sight. Sometimes we just refuse to see. Always seeking to be accepted, not accepting that we will be received. So we cover our attraction in lies about where we gotta be and who we gotta meet, and oh, how the time flies. Between the moment I first see you and when you allow yourself to see me, when you give up your role and I lay down my lines, and we revel in the existence and pleasure to just be, creating art and writing poems and dancing slow, like how they do up on that screen. I would say the end, but it is only just the beginning. Thank you.
All right now.
All right now.
She knows she did it. Oh. Hey, brother.
All right, there you go. Peace. When I heard the topic, it just brought me back to a little boy in the Bronx going to the movies in the 70s, actually. So yeah, I go back to the Kunta Kinte and the roots and stuff too. Let me pull this up. All right, here we go. Man, in the 70s, when the Black movie came out, I just had to go see it. So I walked down the street to the theater with one pants leg rolled up, and in my hair was an Afro pit. But yo, my hair was so nappy Wilson couldn't pick it. It was cool. When I walked, I had my own soundtrack. It went boom, wicked, boom, wicked, boom, wicked, boom, wicked. When I didn't have on my old New York Knickerbocker short shorts, long tube socks with the stripes and brocades, I'd be rocking my polyester vines, even in the summertime, 'cause I was hot rocking my threads. I tell all the cats, I'm a man's man, a hustler's hustler. I keep me some bread. 'Cause after I beat up that bully, I was the Duke of the school. I was the joint. I was always on point. Like Iceberg Slim, I was just too cool. But for one sister, I would play the fool. Have you seen her? Or can you tell me, have you seen her? Well, I lied when I said one, but I guess it was two. Because on TV, there was this princess, and her name was Thelma Evans. She'd make the man's man say, "Duh. Damn, go cop me an engagement ring and call up the Reverend. Reverend Chickenfoot, that is." But as I walked around with my own sound and hopped an OJ to the theater downtown, I drooled over the exploitation queen who held the crown down. And her name was Miss Pam Grier, aka the original Foxy Brown. Now she was too fly. And for you youngins that don't know, let me clarify. She's not Foxy Brown the rapper. She's Foxy Brown the kidnapper. Rocking the afro with her Applejack hat looking dapper. And to this day, I wish I had a time machine so I could jump through the movie screen into the scene and get at her. So we could walk away towards that OJ like boom, wicket, kaboom, wicket, boom, wicket, boom, wicket, peace.
Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, this piece is titled Black Movie Love. Good deeds about last night, witness Sylvie's love. After waiting to exhale, brown sugar, I miss you much. After I love Jones, why did I get married? The best man condoned it. Two could play that game, love and basketball moment. Allow me to let you connect to me very successful. Beyond the lights, anything can be pure, raw, and special. Medicine McLeod, drawing disappearing acts. I could be Southside with you if God had my back. Keep that she want a poetic justice after thinking like a man. Queen and Slim plans with a just right program. Check fences along with the photograph of Jason's lyric. If Bill Street could talk, enjoying Claudine's music. The perfect match may set up a temptation premature. Thin line between love and hate. Shoot a shot with no score. Into a last holiday with a woman like the preacher's wife. Outside the holy doors, you may just have to think twice. Catch a flick or a show, whether it's have or have not. Don't get caught up in the hype, leaving you stuck in one spot. Lost in boomerang, don't play yourself with a Carmen Jones. Find yourself with Purple Rain and baggage claim all alone. Commitments, a film by Carol Mays is still today. The love letter from out the blue might be on its way. Under the cherry moon, watching a graffiti bridge, enjoy the art with who you with until you find your niche, King.
All right, King.
Yes, sir, bro.
All right.
Yes, sir,
Come
bro.
on, come on.
That's what I'm talking
Fire.
about.
Fire.
This piece is titled Ready, Set, Action, Love. Help me understand why I can't get enough of playing in your field of dreams, and your matrix of endless possibilities exposes me to a different guardian in your galaxies that appears to indicate the mountain between us that creates a cinematic 300 plus lifetimes that I would spend living above your underworld, just like a bird of prey. This Iron Man would convey all the endless times we spent playing love and basketball, while I tried to convince you and all the time thinking about this poetic justice that makes me want to fight the power with just us. Because, baby, you got the juice, and that's the truth. All that power in your sexy youth, young enough to crave the best man, strong enough to have your just right and control all the essence of your thoughts as I get lost in space, only to become the last man standing. But then it's already the day after tomorrow and I'm landing. Better yet, I'm slipping and falling to Fast and Furious, wondering if you'll catch me on Valentine's Day, especially when we have things never said today. Baby, I'm waist deep. Like Queen and Slim, I cannot sleep. Running from the law like I'm a bad boy. And my team is hard as Jody and Baby Boy. Can I be your Love Jones? And you my brown sugar, Miss Jones? The paranoia in me creates this disturbia in me that tells me how to play your game. Baby, I just want to know, can I get caught up in your matrix and be the transformer while you call me Mr. Fix It? Because I am legend. And it's apparent that I guard your galaxy in 7 days and nights of my mission impossible task. But for you, my family will no longer pray. And it's inevitable that on this Valentine's Day, you will fall in love with me so we can spend every New Year's Day in love. I love you. I love you. That's that piece.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yes.
Yeah, that inbox full
Everybody
now,
better.
baby.
Hi.
Stop the mic.
Thank you.
He was talking about me.
okay, how do I follow that? So what I had prepared is what I can relate to. You know, you got to acknowledge what you relate to before you can move on. So one of the movies that I can relate to the most is Baby Boy. You know, how you have a history of toxic love. In order to learn something different, you have to acknowledge where you've been in order to grow from it. So that's a big part of the inspiration behind this piece right here. It's called Ode to Boys. You, just like that, the smell, the smell, the smile, the feels, the gap. I taste it when I say your name. I can't resist your little game. Boy, my heart jumps at the sight of you. I stand at attention and delight of you. I'm chained to this in spite of you. Boy, from a memory stirring all my senses, your name sends my nerves all on ending. A chase kiss branding me from beginning. Boy, raw and open at the thought of you. There's nothing I wouldn't do for you. I'd risk it all if you asked me to, boy. Reserved and patient at the lead. I'd kill for all your wants and needs. Just tell me what you want from me, boy. At the helm and at the ready, hard body, hand steady. I regret the day you ever met me. You won't behave, won't set me free. Boy, let me be. What is it you want from me? Tell me. Would you tell me, please? Tell me. Tell me slow. Say things I don't want to know. Play games I know I will regret. I'm damned the day we ever met. Boy, a taste of chocolate. A taste of chocolate haunts my dreams. It's messing with my self-esteem. I know the drama that you'll bring. All boys love breaking things, but I love you. Yeah, you, just like that. The smile, the smell, the feels, the gap. I taste it when I say your name. I'm cursed the day you ever came. That's that piece.
Ooh.
Yes.
All right
All
now.
right,
All
Queen.
right
All
now.
right.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Boy.
Did that.
Right in that boy.
Motion. All right. Like Jay-Z, a ghetto kid from Marcy in Brooklyn, NYC. All these sucker pimps and players hated me. They underestimated me. But even Ray Charles and Stevie could see the genius in me. On me, you couldn't run technology like 3-card Molly, because I ain't no fraud. In any dice game, I beat the odds. 5-0, 10-4 in the SWAT team, wanted war. But first you have to catch me breaking the law. And then you'd have to find my weapon. And from these mean streets, there ain't no half-stepping. Because we've been doing it in the park. We've been doing it in the dark. Oh yeah, Rock Creek Park. With joints we spark as we beware of the narcs and pigs. They thought I'd fall into their traps because they gave me some party because they gave some cheese to these rats. They thought this because I'm black, but I'm smarter than that. I got the game sold up like Chinese laundromats. And I got the after hour spots jumping like Mexican jumping beans and Shanika and them doing jumping jacks and playing hopscotch. All because they don't like the way that I bebop and move the crowd with my hip hop. But I was the last hustler to truly rule these blocks. Everybody was on my payroll, from the judges to the cops. Y'all needed to stop wasting the taxpayers' money trying to APB on me. Because when I got on that plane with my black Lois Lane, that was the end of the game. And I'll tell you why. Because y'all got y'all Clark Kent, but I'm Superfly. Peace.
Yes, sir, bro. Yes, sir.
You better tell them.
To Black
Got
Lois Lane. That's what I'm talking about.
a gun on him now.
Thank you.
All right, so I definitely like this topic, but my mind was all over the place because it's so many good movies, so many good soundtracks, and I'm a music person, so I'm always hearing the music. But this is an older one I had, which kind of works with it. It's untitled, but here it is. As I remember the events of yesterday, I noticed how my last 5 heartbeats were beyond erratic, squirming in my chair as if I was listening to Eddie King Jr. belting out that note on stage. Not only was I brought to my highest peak of ecstasy, having me slumped over like lady singing the blues, the session had my heart racing as if speeding down a winding hill with no brakes. Mahogany. I think a tear might have fell when I thought of the embrace we experienced just before collapsing and moving into our separate corners. Then the mental sound of the bell rang for round 2 when I began to brush against you. Sunlight set on you and you were there looking all thirsty for another taste. It was calling you just like it did Pookie, but you wanted to act all New Jack, pretending to be hard. It did not matter that it was the height of summer, sweating and panting as our bodies collided. I even think I heard myself saying, "Ooh, Mookie," instead of his name. Thankfully, he was too into concentrating on the exact stroke to hit the right spot to really set it off. All the while, making it more better. He looked at me and saw that sparkle in my eye, and he knew he had me. In my mind, I kept thinking of the tune, "What Can I Do With This Feeling?" And that was the moment I knew I was hooked on his love, or rather his loving. Meanwhile, I was trying to give him something he could feel. But soon, months would go by. He was just offering a piece of his love until eventually was saying, "Goodbye, love." Not trying to accept what he was saying, I continued to ask, "Is this the end?" And looking crazy and lost in love with his actions, not always words, told me, "You're not my kind of girl." In peace.
Fire.
Oh, see?
You know I loved it with that New
All right.
Edition
All right,
reference.
Cole.
You know.
Piece of my love.
Swimming off the ark.
The name of this piece right here is called "Oh Silly Duck." It's a piece that I had wrote for my wife. It's about going from one stage of life to the next stage as far as becoming wiser, better husband, better friend, better brother. Oh, silly duck. No more thrills, no more hunting kills, just the lonely chills. Depressed under the weight of life's debt, and this is my bill. Oh, the finality of the field, bare and naked, plucked of my quills and frills. Just a down in the muck duck, busted bill, inaudible cluck. My, when I knocked and rocked around the clock and I was on the loose like a Nike swoosh. And before first light, I would slip into the night and would stop and re-knock before making it off of her block, adjacent at her neighbor's spot. I have bowed over many women, got my jollies and mastered folly. In fact, cum laude, oh lordy, all the busted 40s, all the hapless shorties who adored me for my vision of my image, for mocking of the image for which Jah created me to be. I mocked your image of wisdom. I mocked your image of justice. I mocked your image of power. And I especially made a mockery of your love. Even when I chose for not and hurdled your stumbling blocks and lay broken, not knowing you had already picked me up. So foolish I could give it one more good try. Even if this time I should die, and my lovers not cry. As they lie, as they eulogize I, R.I.P., he lived till he lied in pieces. Me a pleasant afterthought at a card party. Please, I beg you, oh Jah, through my foolishness, remember my heart during its purest, when I seen the aftermath of my actions and saw with my own eyes why you were so disgusted with my path. So sad, I must have been mad. So I say, Lily, lay still, say nothing, for you are my last love and lover. I have traded my lots and buckshots for one slug, one shot, one kill, an order placed long ago and finally fulfilled. A contract inked in flesh, till we rest, till death. No you, no me. And we are blessed to be jealously selfish of each other's caress. You finally have a penis, and I have breasts. For we are of one flesh. Our stride is in lockstep in joy and duress. We stood before God, and our offspring witnessed. And he has blessed our nest and taken away our emptiness with interest for our wise invest. In peace.
Ooh.
Yes, sir, bro.
Next level. Next
Yeah,
level.
hold on that one, brother.
Yes, sir.
Good job, that's right.
Definitely dope,
Thank
brother.
you. Thank you, Jimmy.
Whoa, that was incredible. Thank you,
Fire.
Just
you,
Jay.
ma'am.
So if you are a poet, I'm sure that Love Jones is in one of your top 5. I know it's in mine. So this piece is dedicated to that movie. It's titled The Nina Perspective. There is not much to say about how I feel when you walk into the room. I see the light that cannot wait to dance in your hair. How jealous I become just knowing that it touches you while I am sitting there. I just love your gait and your strut while you walk, your book of mystery in hand as you approach the stage. You are always ready to share with the world your deepest thoughts, your intellect, and your heart from each of your glistening pages. All of the ladies in here wish that you were their man. And that's such a damn shame. They don't know that every single one of your words has been written in my name. I cannot listen to your lines without recalling how good they felt when you spoke them upon my skin. Verses on my shoulders, lyrical arrangements on my neck, melodic lines across my lips. There's so much beauty in the journey from where your lines first begin. It's so funny, me sharing all of this when we haven't even met. But I feel your rhythmical compositions in the center of my soul. And I know this will be our best love yet. Thank you.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
All right,
Having fun and
all
everything.
right, Jules.
I love
Lovely.
that,
Good job,
Jules. I
Jules.
love that,
All right.
Jules.
Looks clean.
Wow. Some great work tonight. Telling you. The other day I came across a piece that I wrote as a teenager. Someone had a piece about young love, so this was mine. Now I don't know why a 14-year-old be writing this, but anyway, it's called it's called Voids. Emptiness perhaps controls my love. I don't know why she tortures me. So she is my enemy because she gives me no answers. Her many lovers fulfill voids within herself, or so she tells me. She doesn't seem to see that by doing this, she creates voids within me. I must liberate myself from this oppression. I wish I'd never spoken her name because her emptiness controls me. Thank you.
Wish I never
Wow.
met her.
Wish I never met her.
Love
That's a
that,
line that
Brian.
got me too, bro.
Okay.
That's real love.
That was good, Brian.
Beautiful.
When you're in love with a woman you can't stand, that's real love.
All right, I'm gonna leave y'all with this last piece. See, when I was growing up in the hood and the projects, I didn't get to see many movies. And the movies that I got to see was because my teenage mom and dad decided they were going to take me to see these grown up movies: Scarface, My Bloody Valentine, American Gigolo, which they had my eyes covered almost the whole movie. But I'm gonna do this ode to black sitcoms because they were my movies. Man, I tell you, it's a different world where I come from. Proud family strikes gold, bars for them silver spoons, even if different strokes looms. Good times spitting bars, but Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with new cars. More importantly, Mr. and Mrs. Jefferson told me long ago that Webster was more than a dictionary lesson. Now this cipher in WBAC got me living single. I wish I had more girlfriends to just kick it and mingle, demonstrating and illustrating my illustrious skills as the smart guy. Somebody said that family matters, then tell me why and what's happening. When I was hanging with Mr. Cooper, my ears was ringing because they gave me a guest spot on the Steve Harvey show. As I was coming on the Cosby show, let me check my afro because I'm bald like my man Rock. Since I'm clowning like the Wayne brothers, hold up, Doc. Moesha was loving my flow. She paid 227 in dollars though. I guess I'm not as good as Bernie Mac. Plus, everybody hates Chris. Oh, snap. Let me chill for Grady gets the Sanford and Son insults. Even though my name ain't Martin, I guess it's my fault. And that's that piece.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice
Okay.
mashup,
That's
man.
fire.
Every show I ever saw in life.
Thank y'all.
Well,
Thank y'all.
dug deep on that one.
Thank y'all. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all are dynamic.
Appreciate
Y'all
you too,
beautiful, man. I'm going to have to listen to the playback because I know y'all got more heat coming. But one love, one mic, y'all.
One love,
man. One love, one
Easy,
life.
brother man. All right.
All right. So this next freestyle, I'm gonna do something different. This is something I've never done. I'm gonna break my freestyle down to 3 parts. This is my ode to boys in the hood in 3 parts. Part 1. When the movie begun, I saw a couple speaking about their only son. Each of them knew that this was a necessity, that in order for Trey to grow up to be the man that he needed to be raised by his father, you see. So Reba humbled herself and gave Furious the opportunity to do what she felt like later she didn't want him to be poking out his chest and thinking that he had done his due diligence, but he actually had. She said mothers have been doing this for decades, for years and years. Women have been doing it all by themselves. But luckily, that boy had a man in his life who wanted to be a daddy. The first love that I saw when that movie began was the family. They may not have been together, but they were able to co-parent and make sure that that man made it. Beginning when he was a child, all the way until at the end of the movie when we found out that he was going to be college bound. All of that was a necessity of Black empowerment in a movie. Part 2, the next thing that I noticed was his crew. See, Doughboy and Rick, and it was funny because I couldn't remember what his name was, and then I saw him with that Jerry curl wig and it came back immediately. Chris. Y'all want to see a dead body? Was the line that he said in the movie that made me say, ooh, something wrong with him. But I got it. See, they were growing up in South Central, and that's just the way things were. They had to every day live in an urban jungle in which friendships were forged and lost due to gunplay. I remember when Trey got stopped by the cop, or even when Furious shot at that dude who had walked in his spot. And he said somebody had been praying for that fool because he had ran out of his shoe. And I realized how important it was that when you're growing up and you're Black in America, that you have boys that will hold you down and those connections would be good. Then part 3, there was this relationship. There was a girl who had moved across the street, and all the boys had been calling her their woman, their lady, their wife. You know, I don't know how she gonna be your wife when I put on my ding-a-ling in her every night, was my favorite of those boys who were vying for her attention. It was amazing to see the progression. They had gone from high school to college bound. She was going to hold on to her virginity. That made me smile. But it was one of those things that make you think, how is this even a possibility? He was like, you know what? When you gonna give me this kids? While everybody else was doing what they did, and he lied to his father while he was getting his hair faded. Got into the car the next day, or maybe later on, I can't remember which, and he was speaking to Rick, and he was like, man, I ain't never lied to Pops. And he was like, what are you talking about? I told my Pops that I wasn't a virgin. He was like, well, you ain't, is you? He said, well, technically, I kissed and maybe fingered a couple honeys, but I had never actually done it. Ricky wanted to know why. And this is what Trey said to him. I don't want to be a daddy. His best friend already was. And they haven't even been high school graduates. So the whole culmination of the Boys in the Hood, for me, was all the ways that we can still see on a big screen what Black love is supposed to be. In peace.
Oh, well, thank you, God.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
All right, then. Okay. This is a piece called Billy D. Memory, Nothing Less. All the fun times we had under the polluted air was strong. Wish we could have some of the moments again in a higher spiritual form. Just to look into the eyes, face to face, and smell your fragrance. These are my thoughts put down on paper because you are one of my favorites. Beautiful woman that you are, so heavenly, seen by my heart. Gotta be honest to myself, you set the bar high with a mark. It's cool for how it be, that is between you and me. I speak with God before I go to sleep, answer prayers on my belief. Society has been bitten with a pandemic issue. Wrote this poem because I miss you, although on screens I see you. So the time you make for me, I appreciate and love it. The justice of being trusted is like a blessing in abundance. When your worries are on the table, rest your feelings on your friend. I'm always open for conversation whenever you want to begin. Morning, noon, and night, hit me up. I'll be there. One thing that we both share, love for each other. That is rare. King.
King.
Yes, indeed. All right, King.
Thank you.
Atterberry, baby.
It's funny, after every performance, y'all got me like on Family Feud. I'm like, good answer, good answer. Yeah, y'all are awesome. The name of this piece is called In the Loving. It is in your loving. It is in the years of healing, my confidant. It is in the decades of tenderness where you are never absent from my life, and never absent is the yearning. It is in the kissing of my eyelids when I am weary, when you think that I am at rest. When I am cold, you cuddle close. You are the solar warming within my rib. And when universal blackness lays upon us, yes, when the quilt of night keeps us huddled beneath, exposed and fragile, I have no choice but to explore your hills, your valleys, your caverns, and arise with the morning dew, replenished and reborn. Thank you.
Wow.
Big B.
Damn, Brian.
Okay, Brian.
Bringing it through.
Brian,
Hey,
What's going
Bob.
on,
taking it
brother?
there.
Hey, J-Rob.
Oh my goodness.
Hey,
We
everybody.
live time. What's good, brother?
Hey, it's been a hot minute, bro. Been performing in a couple of places, but like I promised you, bro, I could be here now. So thank you for the platform, and very good evening to all the poets. How's
Appreciate
everyone?
it. No doubt.
This piece is entitled "If I Could." There's a daily description of "he went that way," or just the other day, thus and so. Well, where did he go? Why are we defined by how many bodies we invade the cemetery in between the chalk lines? I wish I could save the lives of innocents, those stuck in the middle of the night, when stuck in the tunnel when all they needed was a flashlight. So I throw racist dogs off of them, and I rub the scent of 1,000 innocent black men on me, and I tell them to turn right, just keep running, and just stay out of sight. I wish I could have been there the evening before the thrill that ended the life of Emmett Till, get locked and loaded before the powder keg exploded, and find a way to get him home while his killers were roaming aimlessly without a victim to kill. If I could, I would try to warn them all that this building's about to fall, and as the tick-tock in the box, they would have killed 4 pretty girls way before they destroyed 4 different worlds. If I could, I would have been back at the Autobahn and warned Malcolm X that before he spoke to let them leave this stage for another day, because all those folks, they really ain't woke. And all skin folk, they really ain't kin folk. You see, there's a journey that we need to be all on, and how important you are is way deeper than any speech that you can give to the day. And if I could, I would tell Rodney King to sing to Sandra Bland and demand that she not go outside because something just ain't right. 3-way call Sean Bell and tell him that tonight these cops are trying to hurt somebody and you have a wedding to be at. And maybe, just maybe, he would get the call to his nephew Trayvon Martin and tell him to tell his uncle to bring him Skittles, stay close to home because there's a Zimmerman running about. If I could, I try to get you all to lift every voice and sing before the gunshots ring that killed Martin Luther King, before the hammer hit the bullet, because on this night, like all nights, like hot summer nights, need fans and the support that's going on to help us see that promised land. Even if you surmise that the infiltrators all had on the disguise so that these guys could blend in before we found them and we could find them and get them out of the way. And if I could, I would tell Botham Jean to put both locks on the door before Amber Geiger got there, and tell Ahmaud Albert, don't jog there. Just beware of your surroundings because there are all these killers lurking about and looking to hurt another brother so they can have something else to brag about. If I could, I have Rayshard Brooks call Daniel Pride and text George Floyd, who was supposed to be on 3-way, and all that to Atina Jefferson before she turned on her PlayStation, but because it was supposed to be texted Stephon Clark at his grandmother's home just before she got the answers and no calls to the actions of Philandro Castile before potential murderers took his life while his lady was trying to find something to talk into just in the nick of time. If I could, I would have brought all Alton Sterling CDs and shared them at my house with Freddie Gray while Eric Gardner smoked Newports, giving the key girly high fives so that we could all avoid connotations and persuasions that have harmful intentions. And if I could, I would watch Michael Brown graduate right after his big sister Breonna slept peacefully, getting up knowing that all Black lives matter. Because at the end, I just want y'all to remember their names. Stop telling me what I already know, because Black lives matter way before the hashtag. But damn, can we please just catch their killers? Peace.
Big brother.
True. Okay.
Guns blazing.
That's how you drop the
Welcome
mic.
back.
Hey, come in.
You did that.
Hey, thank you, everyone.
Really
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who be next?
All right, the name of this piece right here is called Lily and Wheat. Wrote this piece for my wife too. Lily and Wheat. How bountiful is the beauty of a lily. Could awkward words flow evenly enough to draw in her outline or color in her colors, contours, and aroma? How do you express intangibleness? Is it fair to try with the lips? Could Webster's descript suffice to see beauty, grace, and integrity, as sterile as his depiction would be? What is lovely? Isn't she? Yes. Like the rain over parched terrain, says the growing grain, sustenance his purpose and aim. Lily, forgive my shame. Might I know your name? If not, I fear you would be forever ingrained in some aspect of my mental imagery, causing some type of neurological imagery. Subject, sensibility, and symmetry. Lily, solidly but artfully and delicately balanced, cream of the crop, queen of the pageant, with a desire to be established. I tell you, our roots, our soil, our sweat, our toil. No pastry the emphasis mouth would ever be as sweet than me saying, Lily, I am your wheat. In peace.
Whoa.
That was beautiful.
Well,
Jay.
that was, all right, good Jay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Awesome.
sir.
Just loving me some nappy nappy. 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 Her sweet kinky naps go back to electromagnetic cats from the land of the blacks where the Sphinx naps. I need a nappy headed diva. In her, I'm a believer. I get high off her like ganja. I'm her quarterback. She's my wide receiver. I thought I told you before, yo, I'll never leave her. I had to hit her with a friend request Instagram link when I heard her playing Lauryn Hill and saw her Kemet Kings. She's a lavender flower in a world that stinks. As she walks by like Miss Sadie, that's a sophisticated Southern lady. Even the devil winks. But 666 can't have her, cause she'd rather have the Kushite deity. And baby, that be me. Just loving me some nappy nappy. Loving me some nappy nappy. Just loving me some nappy nappy. Loving me some nappy nappy. See, I've been going through struggles. My struggles, my initiation. So when I saw her on the street, there was no time wasted, no procrastination. Harlemite born, yo, we don't play. I stepped to her with no delay, like, sweet Jesus, can I touch the hem of your garment? And of course she laughed as I asked her for her business card and her autograph. Some Matrix type chicks would have walked on past, but her dread type nappy antennas detected that this brethren right here was a winner. Just loving me some nappy nappy. 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 Her sweet kinky naps go back to electromagnetic cats from the land of the blacks where the Sphinx naps. So as she walks the streets, all she hears is raps like, yo, ma, holla back. Can a brother get some play? And yo, shut with that. What's up with that? Because brothers used to think that only light skin was in. Whether, whether, oh my God, brothers used to think that only light skin was in, whether temp or perm or trags, but never a double chocolate delicious diva with black naps. I'll take either one. I'll take them as they come. All shades of the light spectrum. Her Kemet kinks remind me of an African village, tribe of Shabazz, 9 ether, smoke, incense, and drums. Just loving me some nappy nappy. Peace.
That
Yes,
All right,
indeed.
that right
All
there.
right.
That right
I ain't gonna lie,
there.
that was gonna
Thank
go,
you.
Kamal.
That right there.
He said, loving that nappy, nappy.
Yo, that's dope. That's an old school style from whence we all began poetry. That was really dope, bro.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes,
Nina.
Lena.
it took my heart with that one.
Thank you.
Okay, so I've been on a self-love kick, and since the topic we're going with is love in cinema, one of my favorite movies is Beast of a Southern Wild. It's about a little girl finding an identity. I related to that a lot, so I'm dedicating this piece to that one. It's called Recoil. They never warned me or I don't recall at least, about the fleeting wings of youth's elasticity in all things. We were never told about the value in patiently waiting to unfold. No, we were never told that youth was a gift that someone had their hands in, that death would ever be a close friend. Live like this is your last until the end. You'll never be good. You'll never be good enough. You better be tough. You'll be plucked like yet ripe fruit. Squandered away. I kind of lost my place. I'm sorry, y'all.
Take your
It's
time,
been a rough
sister.
night for me.
Take your time, beloved. Take your time. You got this.
All right. They never warned me, or I don't recall at least, about the fleeting wings of youth, elasticity in all things. We were never told about the value of patiently waiting to unfold. No, we were told that youth was a gift that someone had their hands in, that death would ever be a close friend. Live like it should last until the end. You'll never be good. You'll never be good enough. You better be tough. You'll be plucked like yet ripe fruit. Squander away your promise. Youth was a vulnerable place to wait, with bold or tentative steps to take. We weren't warned that even tough nuts can sprout seeds. There blooms a star even in dandelion weeds. Even the greenest of gardeners know tough weeds don't take much to take hold. Even in hostile places they grow. Waiting was the missing stone. We weren't warned. We weren't warned that the siren song is a magic gift to a siren, that monsters and mavericks are both mythical and worthy of awe. We awesome beasts were never warned that the best in us is investing ourselves. Thank you.
Beautiful.
There
All
you
right
go.
now.
That's what I'm
You
talking
did it.
about.
Good job.
There you
You
go.
did it.
You did it. You did it.
Good job.
Go ahead and gather it back
There you
together.
go.
I felt that.
Definitely.
All right. So to end out the Black History Month, I'm going to do this poem. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Yeah, but when I'm loud, I'm considered aggressive. My hands might be moving a little too much. My neck's rotating with too much attitude. That's okay because I am who I am, and I will say what I want to say. Thinking back, I once had a girl say to me she wished she had a tan like mine. I laughed and I asked, "Oh, so you want to be black?" She said, "Oh, no." But it was cool, though, because I love the skin that I'm in. I love who I am. Although my hair may be a little unruly at times, I love every kink and curl. My lips are not only full, but a luscious tree. They are all natural, not needing any injections or fillers of any type. My hips are wide with curves. I can balance a baby on them, do a little two-step, not even miss a beat in my stride. My thighs are thick, and yes, my legs, they touch. So what? I never had a complaint. Finding good fitting jeans is very rare. So I'm fine with a little tugging and jumping, then not having much there. Some people would pay for what I have, but I'm blessed being a black woman. There is nothing better. I'm black and I'm proud. In peace.
Say that again.
The jumping and the tugging part.
Absolutely.
Come on now.
All right,
Come on
Coach.
now.
Okay. Beautiful. Nicole.
Thank
Some
you.
of you're welcome. Some of my top 5 are Sylvie's Love, The Photograph, Love and Basketball, Just Right, and Love Jones. And in all of those movies, just like in life, it's like people find each other, they have all these problems, and then they have to work to get back together again. So this poem is dedicated to that journey, and it's entitled The One. You are resistant to take the leap, and I understand. Your life was already mapped out, plans already in motion. Like me, you had a vision and a plan. The map did not include detours, but here we are at a fork in the road. Shall you go your way and I go mine? Maybe we'll meet again in the future in some other space and time. The only thing that we'll miss is the opportunity to make memories. So go your way and I will go mine. And I will carry you in every action. And I will try to capture and scribe the moments that you will miss. I will see your face in each sunrise, and I will kiss you to sleep with each sunset. I will write you notes and see you in my dreams, and draft letters that will never be sent. Well, here we are. It's nice to see you again. 10 years since I saw you last. So happy to share that I've achieved my dreams, and I know that you have done the same. It's important for you to know that no one has ever taken your place. I am so pleased that the highways and the byways have led us back to this space where we can now love each other freely. But please know that if that wasn't the case, I would have waited for you always. But I am so glad that you are here with me now. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Nice. Nice,
Love it. Always breathing.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all a story. And don't look at me funny after you hear it. This is this freestyle. I'm titling it "Purple Rain." I wasn't 17, 18 even, more like 16 and some change. When I was spending part of my summer with my cousins and I had this aunt. She was my mother's friend and my father's sister. As a matter of fact, the wonderful thing about visiting them was because I lived in Joliet, they lived in Lockport. So I had all these new friends that every summer I got to play with. Now that I was in my teens, we weren't doing so much playing as we were trying to do other things, like sneak into movies that were rated R. We didn't have to sneak. See, they had one of those moms that was cool, not like my parents who were so strict. And they took us to see Purple Rain, and it was the ticket. I mean, it was like a whole new world had been opened up to me, and it wasn't just a soundtrack. All I wanted to do was dip in that lake in Minnesota with Prince and find out where Erotic City was, because that's someplace I'd like to live. There were so many things that I saw and so much music. It felt like I was in it, like not just a concert or musical. No, it was an experience. So Purple Rain for me was my first rated R movie that I ever saw that had a mostly Black cast. The thing that stuck in my mind the most was it was like the battle between The Time and Prince and the Revolution. Now, Prince had other incarnations and other backup bands, but he was always the man. I don't care if he was wearing a ruffly shirt or high-heeled shoes or had long curly hair that looked like he was a woman who would spend all of her Saturday under a dryer. He was that dude. Telling you, I wasn't ever attracted to a light-skinned man like I was him. I would never be again. But I would tell you something that I've always taken with me, and I have it to this day, is the love of Black people, Black music, and Black cinema. In peace.
Peace.
Look at you, girl.
That's good.
Look at you.
Nice, Gina.
Late in the
I was
time.
trying to be grown. I was trying to be grown, that's all.
Excuse me. Piece is called Who Am I? I am the result of what happens when the ink dries. Before papers are discarded and ideas along with witty words that are crumbled. Those undiscovered lines of when the dove cries, the reflection seen in the mirror before it is spoken with any type of an infliction. I stand here as one of many variations in volume, pouring emotions into quills that form run on sentences because those words are who we be when we're free. I am the dried tears of my ancestors whose sweat tastes like the salty sea they drowned in rather than be a slave. We are the verbally solution focused soothsayers penning anagrams punctuated with antidotes of stanzas that will allow you to ponder and reflect and wonder. I am the continued untold story just waiting to be heard while being told your corrections don't need whiteout. I utter influence as a malcontent and use words as instruments subliminally used to amuse while being the muse that captures your attention. I am the farthest thing from perfect, but I try to bring light to a confused tunnel that is filled and engulfed by darkness. And before you ask, who do I think I am? Well, I'm just a poet in pen format for you to understand that in certain cases, in certain instances, I am the closest thing to a god, but I am still mortal man. I respect this art form as if it was almost human, which is why my words give life to a wave of emotions to the voiceless crowd with each line that is that of a thread like a preacher, giving words to a congregation that's just starving to be fed. Weaving a web of words so intricately that it resembles a patch blanket telling stories to the next generation who will discover it like Egyptian hieroglyphics, asking themselves and those poets all around them what happened to us and what we are and who we're going to be and what are we going to add to this patch blanket of poetic stories.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I?
Mm.
I am the result of what people feel when the piece ends. I am called the voice of Black history. Y'all know who I am? I'm called Verses, and that's that piece.
All right, verses.
All right.
All
J.
right.
Rock.
All right, brother.
Yes.
Dropping it.
Thank you, y'all.
Good answer. Good answer.
Brian, you a fool.
Indeed, indeed. This piece is called Dreams. How can I walk in dreams and feel the warmth of the sun on black skin?
Mm.
How can I feel the wind gather in my lungs and within my bones? And I am running in this wind, chasing the sound of your voice through the landscapes of my mind. Say my name tenderly again. I want to carry you with me. We two here in a dream. We are one. We are kindred to where my actions become your consequence and your pain becomes my penance. Let me absorb your wounds and hurt. Let me give you absolution. Let me decipher your unhappiness on this and other worlds, emotionally, lovingly. In those fleeting moments of a dream, say my name sweetly again. I want to carry you with me. Thank you.
Brian, you got to stop acting
Beautiful,
bashful,
Brian.
bruh. You's a bad dude with that pen and the pad, family.
I know, right?
You's a bad dude with that pen and the pad.
Architect.
He's a poet,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, the architect. There you go.
Yeah. Traditional poet.
Oh man, where we at? All right, I just messed up with my screen there. Y'all can see me, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, we can.
You are a cosmic being, a spiritual being, a child of the Most High, the all-eye seeing, the unmoved mover, the inner voice. You made it to Earth because you made a choice, because you were only experience, and you wanted to experience. You wanted a challenge. You wanted to make a change, a transformation. And now you sit around like you're helpless in your situation. You're playing victim. The matrix has got you all tangled. The system has you forgetting. So now you're a fallen angel, but you're an angel made of love, pure energy, electromagnetic. Within your physical composition are gifts, so just let it flow like H2O and stop holding back. Manifest your blessings, and the Creator will receive that bliss that you missed from the heavens, but now it will be on earth. Because you knocked and the door opened. You're a seeking citizen of the universe, cosmic being. Time is slipping from the hourglass. Listen, you don't sweat time, when you steady your mind on your plan. Focus on the goal and be in self-command mode and drop bombs on them. Release the alien, explode, boom. They should have backed up and gave you room because you ain't mediocre. You're a universe eloper, and I hope you execute your thoughts and let the negative drama in your life come to naught. If you forgot who you are, it's not my fault. You are love. You are light. You are not a nigga or a bitch. You are solar bound to be right. You got the sonship, the daughtership. As I direct descendant of the divine emperor and empress, you better recognize that you are bliss. Cosmic being, peace.
Listen, come on now.
Well,
Come on now.
Yes.
Come on now.
Thank you.
Come on. You got the voice of a giant, bruh. Spit
Thank
that.
you.
The name of this piece is called This Breath. It's a poem about a man being eaten by a bear. This breath. Tread with care. The land and air are full of pitfalls and snares. Even mother bears. When robbed of her cubs, do not test her love, because she ain't the one to be joking. She stands tall, bearing claws, twitching lips, violently split, frothing jaws. She has made her mind up to maul. She's at the meat market, and the smorgasbord is free. And in the fleeting moment that lasts lifetime like rushing waters, you know it's about to wash all over you. But it is me in its entirety. In a moment like this, how pure can my prayer be? Let's see. Should I send a prayer about the length or the lack of my hair? What about my stock shares? Or would I pray that this stupid bear stop stepping on my shoes? What hoods did this bear rep anyways? Should I pray that this bear show my spaces respect? Should I pray for this beautiful chain around my neck? Would I pray for a Tech 9, a flagrant foul for my favorite team, a tractor with a plow, a prize-winning cow, the world's best Kung Pao? A little pot-belly sow, a soul seed, a rose with no bees, a cat with no fleas? Or perhaps the neutrality of the Swedes? Oh, I know, a blunt full of weeds. Or perhaps just a whole mountain of personal needs. Meanwhile, this bear is just making my clothes just so raggedy. Tis might as well pray for whisk. Man, my clothes are really getting ripped, crimsoned, and drenched. I don't know if they'll make it through the rinse. Should I pray to be rich? Should I pray to be a pimp and a caddy, to be or not to be the daddy, even though you know and I know that I impregnated Sally? Man, this bear is savagely inefficient. Then tore my pockets and shredded my cabbage, slobbering over my bones, destroyed my touch tone. Did I leave the stove on? I think I'm forgetting my way home. I already forgot 2 poems. I know I ain't gonna be able to find my comb. Why do my final thoughts leave me all alone? P.S. I just forgot this poem. Well, I guess it's time for flesh to rest as I clear what's left of my chest. Jah, accept this fleeting breath, my final request, unless in peace.
Yo, Just Jay.
Love it. That was nice.
Yeah, man.
I forgot this poem.
Read it.
That's the dopest line. While you still spitting it.
This piece is called Impossible. I have a little petty in me, so this is my petty poem. First of all, you look ridiculous. Why is your face like that? And what's wrong with your shoes? And who's that girl you're always with? She's just ridiculous as you. You always out here trying to solve the world's problems instead of focusing on yourself. and always lending a helping hand when your hand should be in your own pockets, talking to me about dreams and what you're seeking to achieve. And your friends are idiots too, always trying to be gentle and kind. They need to be mean and tough. Don't they know this is a cold world? Y'all always talking about futures and opportunities as if they're going to come for you. And what are you looking at me like that for? What do you mean you like my hair and the way that I smile? What do you mean you want to sit in the park and talk for a while? Who cares that you think I'm smart and that my heart is full of light? What do you mean you want to make babies and travel the world? How could you think I would want to be your girl? See, this is what I'm saying. No matter how hard I try to keep you away, you just keep on playing. But I like that though. Maybe we should go to the park and talk for a while. Even though you're stupid, I really love your smile. You may need to give me just a little bit of time to give up all of this fight, because something tells me, even though I don't want to believe it, I believe that you are just right. Thank you.
You better get that man. You
That's funny.
better get him playing games.
What's up with your shoes?
Number.
Funny.
How about my
He's
school?
stupid. No, he's so stupid.
Yeah. Oh.
You know you find
He's
every
stupid, but he's
reason.
cute.
Well, she's killing bystanders and everything.
All right, dude.
All right. I call this one Man of Mystery. As he walked into the room, every woman who laid eyes on him thought he was an angel. But as for her, she knew he was sent only for her to behold. His skin was a smooth, dark cafe brown. He had not a blemish or a spot of imperfection, and his eyes so clear she could see into his soul. Imagining the possibilities of a unique companionship, she retreats to a secret place of solace. And he is touching her mind and not only her hand, kissing her lips as well as her heart. Their love protrudes through any physical being. With every word spoken, the longing for one another is intensified. There's an endeavor to penetrate the other soul with a deep incision that can't be repaired. Each one fights to love the other more, but neither one wins. I suppose it's not so bad to lose. In peace.
Wow.
Peace.
Wow.
All right,
You just
now.
That's a deep place right there.
All right, Cole. All right. This is a piece I titled Mirror My Soul. Which side of me gets you? Tell me what side is special. I want to know how to catch you because you don't settle. Broadband my signals that what I be into. Mystical and magical auras that are essential. Ancestral prayers upon forming words that's heard. Sweeter than songbirds giving birth, sounds purged. Left my spirit sky high till I see heaven's magnificent, radiant, beautiful formation that look extravagant. Transport myself through stillness, wake up brilliant. God knows I feel privileged feeling his glory in it. Dive inside the realm of music, tuning my mind. Enjoying divine chimes, which reminds me of a time. Capture the moment when I was down and out of luck. Now it's like, oh shucks, giving an audience more than what? Little bits of this, which was missed, so here I sit. In a chair controlling patterns of my breathing. Feel my kiss. King.
Yes,
Boy, ATTERBERRY.
indeed.
King just coming and be like, bong, eat that, eat that, bong.
Wow, what a show tonight.
Hot.
You guys in the chat, and myself, we just witnessed a poetic massacre. They did some things. As y'all can see, my background from touching it is all jacked up because I was sitting back witnessing some stuff. So, whew. we're gonna close the show. I'll just say that anybody that ever say that a poetry show had this many poets and all tore it down, I'm willing to put this show up against anybody. What y'all did tonight was serious. Oh
Thank
man. With that in the chat, I appreciate you guys for joining the show.
Thank you.
Everybody take care. Have a blessed night.
Peace, folks.
Poetry, everybody.
Salute, poets.